We're going to go ahead and call this regular scheduled Board of Education meeting to order. Actually, we're gonna. Anybody have any questions on the agenda? Okay, I'm gonna do the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor? We're going to call this regular scheduled Board of Education meeting to order.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you.
And to communications. Just got a flyer for this kickoff. August 12th. I can just go, yes. Just DK, it's HTK. Just that post. All right, thanks for coming that post. We are right now.
All right, come on up. Okay, we have Miss Hallie here. You guys know it's summer and the activities that everybody had, but this is our senior here, so she has time now, right?
Yeah,
A little bit. All right, so Hallie is with us and you got fourth place in Japan. So congratulations, very proud of you. We also had Renee Lipker in the discus with fifth place. Amy Johnson in the triple jump with fifth place. Senior here, so Cindy Charbonneau was eighth place in the 100 and 4x4 got eighth place, and that was Cindy Charbonneau, Anderson Craig, Boston Craig, and we also had Renee Lipker in the discus with fifth place. All right, so what's your plans next year? Don't you love when people ask you that?
Yes,
I know.
I've been on a couple college visits. I've had a few offers for track. I'm still in between making choices, still getting offers. I got one today.
Awesome.
So we'll see. I have to make it by the end of June, hopefully. I can choose, but yeah, I don't know yet.
Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kinsley Smith also.
What? Oh, and Kingsley, is his up
Kingsley.
there? Kingsley isn't here. He was third in discus and second in shot put as well. So, proud of all those kids and all the work that it takes. So.
As soon as it's open forum, we don't have anybody. Presentations of policy updates. First one, all them. Anybody have any questions on them as of now? Move on to consent agenda. Questions on that?
I have just a couple here on mainly off the bills. I noticed there was a payment for a bus repair, $20,000. Wouldn't that be an insurance thing?
We got paid by Progressive for the
Okay.
bus that happened on that, and the money comes from them.
Okay. Okay. Good. I know one time they didn't know if there would be enough damage, but then after I seen them, just, okay. And I guess the big thing stuck out to me is the mileage. You know, you add all those up, it's about $5,000. Is a lot of those tell it, there's people travel almost all of it, yeah. I don't have anything.
Anybody else?
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Favor?
Second.
I'm sorry.
Thank
Stand. All those in favor?
I just want to commend it. It's simply a different wide, great job, guys. If you look at the principal reports, if the folks listening can take the time to look at those principal reports and see how much academic growth our students have made in our buildings. in this past school year, and it takes everybody to do their part to make that happen. So thank you for making academics a priority and helping our students become better.
I would like to give a thank you, even though this was not a district event. Mrs. Fitz, Mrs. Chestnut, Mrs. Shirley, and Mrs. Nepper hosted the Clay County Museum History Camp for students. And it was well attended and they did a fantastic job. So very proud of those teachers for going above and beyond and hosting that, and it was just well done.
Let's say, also thank you to everyone who assisted with their driver's education program that they had, and congratulations to the graduates. I believe the real test will be surviving the backseat driving from the family and friends. But anyway, they done really great. I didn't say that.
Insurance company.
Yeah.
On the director report.
Couple of things, we've been talking about this for a few months, but Ken Shivers has been in touch with our team here regarding the City of Clay Center. I believe they've been awarded a grant. Dusty's been in some communications with it, but that would fully fund the sidewalk. If you scroll down to the bottom of my report, you kind of see a general outline, but the city would still need to hire a surveyor to establish an easement before the installation of the sidewalk, and that's something that Dusty will work
How
on.
much was their grant? I drove down that tonight. There's gonna be a lot of work for the sidewalk from that building to the property. Drainage ditches, and cliffs and everything. I don't know what your grant was.
I don't know, it's all I know is there will be no obligation to us as a district, so. Just wanted to make sure no one had any opposition to them continuing to move forward with their. And eventually,
Cause they'll get us, yeah, they gotta. Get someone to survey it, so we don't wanna. Go through that process. There's no.
and I assume at some point the board will have to take some kind of
Take
action.
action to grant them the easement,
Okay,
hopefully that would be. Possibly, I don't know what the survey schedule will be.
So that would be the only thing that the board would be basically involved in, would just be letting them survey the easement
Survey and give them
property,
the easement.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Okay. So any obligations then for continued maintenance on the sidewalk that ties into our portion of the property? Is there any visit about that you're aware of?
so we talked to HDK a little bit about it, and they recommended that they just go right up to the existing sidewalk that's there now. And then when they put the new bus lane in, they may have to take a panel or two out to tie it in when they're doing the bus lane.
So any future obligations in for annual maintenance, snow removal, et cetera?
Yeah,
And
anything on our property would still be our snow. Okay, yeah.
up to that location.
How wide, you might not know this, dude, how wide is it?
6 foot.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Wider than the one that we had.
Right. It's, you should drive the gator.
Think it's
Never
never
moved
moved
up, yeah.
We did get the estimated assessed valuation. I included that there in the board doc so you can see that. Assessed valuation is up quite a bit over the last few years. It's been relatively flat. This year it took all just shy of a $5 million increase. So just a few things to be aware of there, as I know you guys know, that will impact assessed valuation per pupil. We don't have any control over it, just letting you know that we probably will see a decrease in state aid and LOP and capital outlay. On the positive side, we would see the true value dollar to dollar of the mill on the new bond fund because there's no state aid in the new bond like there was in the old one. And so nothing we can do about that. We'll wait till it comes out, and then the county will certify the final in November. And that's when we get the final, and then they make those adjustments. CCA did ratify today, based on the information. Well, it was 78% yes.
Well, the deal I got on mine said 61 yay, 17 no, and 42 abstain, so those are no votes, so it's 61 to 59,
So,
so barely.
and I don't think it was actually abstain, they just don't check their email and some are no vote. Is what,
That's a no vote,
so,
if they don't vote.
yeah, maybe it is, I don't know.
Well, if they abstain, if you abstain from voting, it's a no vote. So,
I don't know.
fast.
I never thought of that way. Wakefield roof is done. Tiger House did not receive a bid this month, so it'll roll back out next month and see if we get anything between now and July, and then just some bond updates timeline, just trying to keep that updated. There was some surveyors here today and some civil engineers in the district and the county working on some things, doing preliminary work, and we'll keep talking about that when we get to the next item.
Any other questions for Brett? I mean. Venus' reports in there. Anybody has a question? Final report?
I'm sorry, Jason, can I add one more thing? I
Yeah.
didn't read my sticky note. Tomorrow, I have a meeting with the 5 districts that consolidated 334 and KSDE. To discuss when they officially close on June 30th. They have to close out their books, and so any additional monies that they had gets distributed equally between the 5 districts that agreed to help them dissolve. Very preliminarily, it sounds like it could be around 100,000 per district. Very early still, but it sounds like it could be in that neighborhood somewhere that we would be receiving as a part of. Because we are a part of that resolution or disorganization of their district, so I'll know more in the next few weeks. Hopefully by July, I would be able to fill you guys in. Exactly. So.
Questions on Anita's? You wanted Jacqueline?
Hey, I give you guys a overview of our reading screener data. I gave you it by the grade level across the district, but it's actually a part of our end of year report to the state, and I actually go in and upload that by the student for them. And so I put that on there for you guys, and after school programming, we have that later for a discussion item, but I have prepared some things for you there. You should, as Jason said, the kickoff invite is in front of you. Hope you can come. Wanted to give it to you now so you could kind of look at your calendars, and in July we maybe share out if any of you are able to be there for introductions and stuff of our new staff and some training, and then we do provide a meal for them before they go back to their buildings. Wrote a little bit in here. I've been working with Tara Barber. The grant that is referenced in here was not, we did not write that. The county wrote the grant. We take our maps that August has worked on, and we send those PDFs to them. They have them on the computer and everything. But what this does is actually put our maps within their system. So no matter it doesn't have to just be the dispatcher opening up a PDF. they'll be able to access and, in an emergency, have accurate information on our maps and where everything is. A huge bonus, or positive, and this is work of August, as well as when we did our card readers, that our maps are numbered, they're not teacher names, they actually have room numbers. And then our doors are numbered, our exterior doors are already numbered, and they are in a sequential order. So the main door is number one, goes clockwise, every building. And all of our maps are geographic, like they're facing north or south, they're facing the right direction. So that is also helping this process. So it's really, if my contribution is simply to give them the maps and answer their questions, what it's going to do is allow our local emergency service just accurate information when they are assisting in a medical or any kind of emergency. So I really appreciate her. That was her idea and her work. So very much appreciated. You'll notice there's a policy update on emergency drills. And what it's basically doing is clarifying how you do the active shooter one, that there is no simulation, that at K5, it's a tabletop, it's more of a discussion, but it kind of lays out what it looks like for 612. But in here, I referenced our cardiac one, our cardiac emergency response. That will be one of the crisis drills next year, as well as we're going to do a bus accident simulation. So those are things coming up for next year. And then I did put the credit recovery in there so you guys could see that data too. Seeing less kids need it, which is a good thing. Less returning customers on that one, which is a good thing. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. The data was so small, I don't want it to be identifiable. So if you have a question, maybe about a particular one, ask me. So yeah.
Just general, so if they're an underclassman, are they doing that through the second semester, or is it still just 3 or 4 days after school?
They have the option of throughout the semester as well. They try to grab them there versus the after school. The after school, there's ones who just barely didn't make it. They have that cutoff. At 50%, they're not. They're redoing.
Sometime would you let me know how many of those were at the end of the school year? I'm just curious.
Sure, I can do that.
Did that?
Mhm.
No rush.
Okay.
I'm shutting that door for me. I'm so sorry that there's more. Thank you.
Question, Beth? Part of this. I'll close out.
One disclaimer on there, we, as of 5 o'clock today, KSD still haven't released the final legal max. It's usually very close, but there could be slight changes if any of their final audit numbers would change, but they would be very minor if there are any. I'm not going to read the whole report to you. You guys are well aware of the enrollment situation, that over the next several years, we'll have to start absorbing that loss of 105 students over the last 2 years. We hope to see it not as significant as the decline based on some predictions for next year. But because we did qualify for a 3-year average, we were funded on a lot more students this year than we actually had, and that'll be one-time funding. Kind of been talking to you guys about how we might see that one-time additional increase this year that we weren't counting on. And so it was really important as we closed out that we strategically thought about the use of those funds and that they weren't budgeted for perpetual items, because that money won't be available again next year. So we worked really hard to find some one-time options that we could use for those funds. There's several different options. I did lay out several options. I truly believe any of the the options would continue moving our district in a positive direction, and so we'll open that up to you guys here in just a bit. Couple of things to point out, and just so you guys know, from the software end, we can make any changes that we need to. None of these are final. But as you know, we did not qualify for the after school grant, and so in order to give families a little bit more time to plan, we did put an option in here to transfer $150,000 from general fund to at-risk for a one-time use. We have to make sure that was communicated to families that that would be for one time, and there's no guarantee that it would continue. But it would do a couple things, give them plenty of time to plan. And second of all, if they open the grant application again in the spring, Jacqueline and her team could reapply and see if we could qualify again. But we would have to work really closely, if you guys chose to do this, with Matt to clearly communicate with our families that be planning ahead, start getting prepared, because it would probably be very difficult to do this beyond 1 year. But again, it might give them a little bit of time. And so we do the typical things that we do every year. We fill all our special funds so that we can fund salaries through January. We did that. Then we typically put an additional 5% onto that in each fund. So we were able to accomplish that. On that document and the financials, it was said bill list 2. You could, at the bottom, there were some items that said encumbered. So we did encumber some expenses for next year. Those were listed on there, so you knew what those were. And then we were able to shift some bills, and we've been working on this for 5-6 years, to get as many bills that we pay this fiscal year for next year instead of paying them in the same year, just so it helps strategically set us up for things that might happen in the future. So that you can always shift those back to the next year if you get into a pinch. And so I feel really good about where we are there. And then at the bottom of this report, threw out some options for you to consider on where we would strategically place these one-time funds. Do capital outlay, additional capital projects to be done with the bond project as an option. We could put it towards the HVAC lease obligation that we have. It is currently at a 2.8% interest rate. So we could chip away at that, and then when we opened up, we could relatively easy pay the whole thing off. A combination of funds, if you wanted to do that. We could build up contingency reserve a little bit more, anticipating declining enrollment and absorbing the loss of the 105 students. We could prepay some of our future special education assessments, or we could do a combined approach, a little to each. And I truly believe, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think any one of these options would be smart or healthy decisions for a district financially. Guess I'll just open it up to or questions or thoughts or.
On the June 30th cash balances that you gave us, is that after the transfers?
Yeah, that's
What that is?
That's what that,
So
everything.
this is a list of what, okay, that's what it'll be after we approve the transfers, that'll be the balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second thing, and just asking, is that I see the transfer for the after-school program, and Jacqueline had give us some numbers. It was around 115,000, I believe, and there's 150.
That'd be his Jacqueline question.
The initial ones you sent us, maybe that doesn't have the latest increases, but you sent out, I think the two together.
It's about 115,
150.
not 150. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think probably Brett's 150 would take into consideration if more kids take interest in it. It's based on a ratio,
Sure.
a 1 to 15 ratio, 1 to 10 for academic, 1 to 15 for clubs. So that could fluctuate and that 150 would give us that room.
Okay.
Another example is depending on where you go with fees, which when you guys approved fees back in consent, there was no fee listed
Right.
pending all this. So currently it's $30 a month. We do prorate the shorter months, but waivers are available for families that qualify for free and reduced. 5 years ago, we brought in about 21,000 in local fees, and the last 3 years, we only bring in 13.
And that's with waivers, right?
Because yes, with the waivers, so what I'm saying is more kids are available for waivers and those with waivers are utilizing the program, so. I did my best to estimate based off of the last couple years and their attendance. But you could end up with, let's say you didn't change the fee, you kept it at 30. You could have maybe only taken 5,000 in fees. Just history and, I think Jeff will remember this too, from Wakefield a few years ago when we funded it, we actually didn't allow waivers. We said you had to pay if you wanted to come and you had to pay ahead before you could come. Like you had to pay by September 1 if you were going to attend. So that option's been out there too. When I ran numbers, I wanted you to see what a cost neutral would be. And so at a cost neutral, it's about $85 a month. Now, if you're gonna prorate, some months are gonna be more than 85, some will be less, but that's, and then doing half is 40. I mean, the numbers are on
Right.
that last report under 10, but I think the 150 is just to give us the flexibility in the event that we have a high number of students on waivers if you decide to accept those.
Yeah. You know, my feelings on that is, I know a lot of people in the community rely on that, they work hourly. Can't get there, you know, I would like to see us do it for one more year to give them a chance. And then my second thing with that is to, if we don't get grant money and all that, is try it again next year, but on a fee base. And know that we gotta charge a fee, because I still think there would be people do that if we can't come up with a way to do it, but I think that's a good use of the money for both communities. Like I say, that after school, that 2 hours, a lot of families work hourly. And they've gotten used to it, and this gives them enough time if we have to, and I would suggest that we get on that early in the fall. So by January 1, we could have an option for them of what we think we're gonna do by the next year, let them plan it for the following. And so that's how I think that's well spent on the project lead. The other option is that, and I think this was the administration's recommendation, was to pay towards the HVAC. And I think that's smart. You'll free up $240,000. We pay $20,000 basically a month on that payment. And after this next year, we'll pick up $240,000 a year in our capital outlay. And to be in a better cash flow situation, I think is a good idea. And possibly, you know, we're gonna pick up some of this extra money from the consolidation thing, is whether that goes towards a project lead, or go ahead and put that towards paying that off also. And leaving free up more, but there's no sense in paying that interest. And if we can improve we've worried about capital outlay anyway, because we cut some mills, and all of a sudden, basically we pick up $240,000 by taking care of it. So, I mean, that's the two options that I'd be a big fan of what's recommended here.
I agree with Tracy. I like to spend this money as we would our own personal finances and pay our debt off first. Right? So before you put money in savings account, so I like the idea that it frees up that cash flow month to month, so we have a little bit more flexibility. So once again,
Is there any restrictions on how we spend that money we get from them?
No.
Okay. That'd be wise to say really that.
Right. The only debt we would have is the bond, and then all the, like I say, updates and things we're doing with the bond, I think are in really good shape, and keep that extra money in capital outlay, and I think that's wise.
And if that's what you guys choose to do, Andrea and I talked a lot about this. In the month of July, I would be very comfortable just writing the check
I
for the
agree.
full 815 and paying it off and being done, and then as other things come in, we could, you know, make decisions, but we're in a good financial spot, and I think if you guys wanted to put this amount to that, then I would have no reservations about taking the difference that we don't have and just being done with it.
We're gonna pay them anyway over the year, 20,000 a month, so might as well just pay it and get it done and save even more on the interest. So just.
I know with the, I know with other state required mandates such as cell phone policies, things like that, we're gonna encumber extra expenses. No matter what, and, you know, saving pennies, you know, it leads to dollars. And real easy, so if you watch your pennies, then your dollars add up real fast, so that's the old adage. Right there, that I've always found. So
I'd be more worried about loss of income from state aid due to lack of kids and raised assessed valuation than about paying off that lease. Cause that's what's gonna happen.
But that's gonna hurt us in cash, and this
It's
just
double-edged
raises the
sword.
cost back up is the way I look at it, so.
Double-edged sword by all means, but at the same time, they, you know, we got a bulk already to pay off, you know, it sends taxpayers some additional interest dollars, then that's what I'm looking at.
You know, and I did put all the options out because I truly believe in the best interest of the district, that any one of them has pros and cons and has advantages. You know, for example, if you put it towards capital projects, if you get it done this year instead of 3 years down the road, it's probably gonna be how much cheaper in construction. I mean, so that there's pros and cons in every option.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, Brad, you know, coming up with, your team and coming up with different options there to review that.
So if this, if the 150,000 was proved to go to at risk, then do we discuss further down in the agenda, you know, that waivers, the cost to families, or is, if we decide to do that, there's no more discussion about the after-school program, or?
Right, till we start, like say in the fall, discussing it for the fall year, which would be.
She means the 10-10.
Oh,
So it's
oh,
down
yeah,
here on
item
10-10.
10-10,
So are we,
yes.
is
Well,
10-10 looped into 10?
The recommended wording on that motion is just saying that we're going to pursue option 2, and it doesn't address the 150,000, so I think that 150,000 has to be a part of option 10-10. So nowhere in this wording does it say confirm that we're absolutely gonna give that money to at-risk. It's a separate agenda item.
Okay.
And
I just wanted,
Shannon, it's a good question. And so functionally, if you approve transfers as presented, that's fine. But the reality is we transfer within funds all year to pay our bills. And so let's say you guys get to 10-10 and you say we want families to pay X amount, and we determine it's only going to cost the district 75,000. On the backside tomorrow morning, I'd go to Andrea and say, okay, back 75 of that 150 out, put it, you know. Or we just leave it at risk. We have to transfer 1.4 million into their required every year anyway, so. But my opinion would be that you guys still need to discuss 10-10 and give us direction on what you want, if and what you want after school
Okay.
programs like next year.
okay, thank you for clarifying that.
I move to give final approval to accept option number 2. And scrolling too fast, sorry, and approve and then your transfer.
Second. All those in favor?
You said option 2. Just put that down, Jacqueline. Put it on
Sorry.
2. Not option 2.
And the other is just for the transfers, right? Okay,
Yeah.
right, very good.
Okay. Bond and capital planning.
Yeah, you guys join us in the two chairs. Thanks for being here, guys. So I'll just kind of open up here and then turn it over to Naples a little bit so they can share their perspective. As you guys know, you did all your rankings on the additional items. There was only one thing in some of our meetings after that I realized did not make it to a list, but that you guys talked about, and it's on the bottom. Jacqueline, if you wouldn't mind scrolling down. It's not on that one, but it's the Garfield ADA bathroom wasn't on there. And so just wanted you guys to know that, not saying that's a thing, but you can see how your rankings shook out. In conversations with HTK and Navholz, they have shared with me that it's very important that you guys make some of these decisions as soon as possible so that they can ensure they hit their pre-construction window to price and to design, so that they can have accurate costs reflected right now, because these are high level estimates right now. And in their discussions, they have kind of been leading towards encouraging you guys to not just go right to 2.2, but to go a little beyond it. So once they price an estimate during the pre-construction window, because if we do it all in the pre-construction window, then it's at the regular bond rate. Whereas if we don't meet that pre-construction window, it's at the 10% rate. And so it's important to get as much done now as you want. I think the big thing that they need, and they're going to talk a little bit more, is, what are the 10 or 15 additional things? And just because you say these 15 doesn't mean they 100% get done. And that's where I start getting limited on alternates and how all that works. So I'll turn that over to you guys. You can kind of explain what that means on your end.
Sure. So actually, just to take a half step back, just a quick overview. HTK apologizes they can't be here tonight, but they gave us some updated documents for us to start pricing. And so we've actually dug into those, and we intend to come back at the next board meeting with an update on the bond scope of work. So that's where that piece is. And then, yeah, to follow up with what Mr. Nelson just said, what we'd like to do is treat these items with the same process as we're treating the bond items, in that we'll work hand in hand with HTK as they dig into design and engineering. We'll follow up with constructability and pricing and really refine the numbers that you see here. And so we'd like to go take these numbers out to the market for bidding at the same time as we take the bond projects out for bidding. We think we'll get best pricing that way. If we go onesie twosies here, I don't know that we'll get the best pricing with subcontractors and suppliers. And so that's why we wanted to kind of put that all together in a bigger, more attractive package for the marketplace. And so to that end, what we're asking for is, like you said, if we can get some board direction on how many of these things, all of them, some of them, do you want HTK and Nabholz to pursue? Because we just need to, we are going to run out of time if we don't get some direction and start to get some work together as an architect contractor team to really refine some of this stuff. So
it seems to me that we could do a whole lot more if the numbers up there were more realistic quotes.
So what we'd like, we mentioned, if we could, if the cutoff line or whatever is at 12 items, let's see if we can pursue and design 15 or 16 items. And that way we have some options as we refine some of these numbers, as we learn more about sizes and quantities and all that, and numbers can be refined. Then we have some options. Mr. Nelson mentioned we even talked to HTK about specifying and separating some alternates on bid day, so that we can see, okay, if bids come in how we think they will, then we can actually add to it with some alternate pricing. And that way we have some options to select and that we bring back to you.
And that second column from the right, that rough order of magnitude estimated cost, that's just not construction cost. That's an all-in figure with design, contingency, everything included.
So you're telling me that slab up there that we talked about pouring between the building and that slab's gonna cost that?
No.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
Concrete guy, look at that.
I know, but I have a hard time even talking about it when the numbers aren't realistic.
We
I mean, not even close to being realistic.
And I can speak to that one, Jeff. our estimator on that walk with the board, that day when we went through with the paperwork. He had a board meeting himself that he needed to attend, and he assumed that that was included with the parking lot portion of that work. I've since went up there, sketched it myself. It's 400 square feet of concrete if you take it all the way back to the basketball court, and it's 100 square foot of concrete just there at the radius.
Yeah.
So that's, you're looking more like 6,000 to 20,000.
I was gonna say,
That's.
if we spent 10,000, we probably spent too much.
Right, yeah.
And the same with the,
And it's saying it's 120 up there or whatever.
it says 200.
200.
Yeah, this list here, we've met with HTK, I believe, 3 times and have revised this list. Based upon some site visits I've had with some additional information from our pre-con team.
Yeah.
Now, these figures here, again, they're all in with design, contingency, construction costs, GRs from our end. We don't have to be married to those figures now. But in order for us to refine those figures as something that's more palatable, we need that design from HTK.
So how many,
But just
how
like
many,
the
how many
dumpster
things are
sidewalk.
listed there total?
I believe 20.
But the 9th Street sidewalk's the same way, that number.
Like,
Yeah, but see, 16's out, so now there's down to 19. If that 9th Street sidewalk's in there, it's out, so now
Well,
it's
I
down
think we
to
took the
18.
9th Street sidewalk and the concrete slab, we
Oh.
throw out and do them.
Going down our, in front of that retention. pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
think
like,
we can have a concrete guy do that like we did on the north side of the high school. I don't think that needs a bunch of scope and fees and stuff like that on that concrete.
That was my thoughts too.
I mean, I've had a concrete guy look at it and we got a general idea.
so the common area chairs.
So if
what's
we
that
throw
in the
those
middle
two
school?
out,
all of it.
not that we won't do them.
Chairs.
I
just
thought we
think
weren't
they
gonna
need to be
do,
a
I
part
thought
of
we
it.
weren't gonna put that in there or do that. We were gonna worry about projects that we were gonna be.
This is everything board members voted on that day. So anything a board member put a sticker on that day is in there.
That,
And you said at the high school, that HVAC rooftops aren't.
that kitchen one's only 8 years old. I put it up there in 2018.
So we could take that 350 off.
Well, 350 is just,
That was gym and kitchen.
yeah, but I'm just saying, for 2 rooftop units, that's 175,000 a piece. That's a
You'd sell
little,
that?
that's, well, I'd take that job in a heartbeat.
So the site access driveway at Lincoln, to make that curve around that was kind of voted down with our. It's like-
There's 5.
Yeah,
But it's
you
not
can-
up there, is it?
It's not.
I'd like to put it on
I
there.
would too.
I can't see that up there.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys can put anything in here you want today, and I think that's
I think-
what they need.
Maybe we should start at the top and just work our way down. I'd like to replace the first one with the parking lot. The 400,000 on the parking lot.
So that's the deal on the side of the bus barn going out to
To the south.
the property beyond on the backside.
That says the first one doesn't say at the high school.
Yeah,
That kitchen and HVAC.
yeah, it's not that,
units.
it's not that old, so.
The kitchen one didn't, I don't know how old the ones are on the gym. In 2014, so they're 10 years old, 11 years old,
What's life expectancy?
15. So if you're good, 20. You know, if you do maintenance and do the things you're supposed to do, 20, if we have a maintenance contract,
They better be.
they should be,
So,
you know.
I agree with that under.
so we could take number 1 off and put the side access drive and parking. Any objections to that? Not that we're voting.
That's more concrete. No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a half a load, let's go do that,
That's
that's by the
true.
middle school, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're saying. Okay. Number 2. Any objections to that? Sped bathroom and cafeteria bathrooms?
Pretty necessary.
Yeah.
What was the small engine repair?
It's down in the basement
See some
with no ventilation.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a bomb waiting to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's down in the basement.
Yeah, well, in
Under the stairwell.
underneath the ag room.
Oh, down in, okay.
Yeah.
So
We
it's
went
not
on
up
a-
there where they actually kids.
We on the tour,
It's down.
big time gas smell.
Yeah, someone lives there. Okay, objection to that one? Okay. Paint the ceiling and the, well, that's a CCC invoice.
Yeah, that needs to be paid in
Yep.
by professional.
Yeah. Okay. Windows at the district office.
You know, what were we doing on the bond issues with the district office for 265,000?
Roof,
Yeah,
plumbing,
No windows.
no.
Well, we can only do one window, but in offices.
Take Jacqueline's out.
Oh, hey, fine, I'm the only one with one.
Okay. Paint the gym ceiling and CCCHS. The objections to that? The carpet replacement at Lincoln, that's the remainder that hasn't been replaced.
to your classrooms, office space, haven't been, their carpet haven't been done, and
That finish that building then?
yeah.
Exterior door replacement at Wakefield, that's the north, right, that we looked at.
Yeah,
If I remember
miscellaneous
right.
one or two others.
It's like 6 or 8.
For 9, can we slip in that Garfield bathroom? Since it's not on the list, the accessible bathroom. Even if we just move everything else down, but make sure that's in the top 10.
I think the important thing to remember is just because you guys put something on the list doesn't mean you have to do it. It just means they're gonna go to design and get a tighter cost estimate.
There might be one.
Sorry, but on that bathroom, when we were walking through, I know we were focusing on the cinder block room. But if the teachers feel like it's appropriate, just down the hallway, there's a room that's just sheetrock and wood and should be a lot easier to remodel and a lot less cost.
I mean, I would say we put it in 11,
Okay,
leave the stair, leave the sidewalk with that concrete slab. I think we should put in there. ADA bathroom. Garfield.
moving down to 11.
For me, numbers aren't as important as just what's the list.
Right, well, that's on the list.
I think you add the bathrooms she's talking about.
Take off the concrete slab.
You can always say you're not gonna do them.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you're gonna take out the buses and you're gonna take out the, I mean, I thought we put the commons chairs along with the other buildings that talked about on capital outlay.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, take them out of there.
If we
What's
get down to
interior
about
maintenance?
17,
I don't know what the interior maintenance in Lincoln was.
There's,
I think it's
There's
just that like the classrooms that need new cabinets or new paint or. And mostly cabinets, I think, because we can paint, but we can't really put in new cabinets.
I guess, is there anything on the wall that anybody really wants on there or anything else that you
Well,
have on
even
your list?
even though we are going to most likely get all of these done, I am asking again that we switch the priority of the Wakefield stair lifts. That we prioritize the one going to the basement for the storm shelter, because that is something that the community can use. And we currently don't have any students in K-12 that need a chair lift up to the second floor. So making sure that the bond issue priority is getting access to the storm shelter. And then putting on this list, the stair lift upstairs to the second. So, especially since we just have 2 classes that are on the second floor right now.
that's as of today. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
fine with, I think we should do them both myself.
I
Are they
think
the
we
same
probably
price?
will, but I still like the priority needs to be
They would-
get him to safety.
It was relative. Yeah.
Because they're talking 150,000.
Yeah, in the grand scheme, it wouldn't move the needle much if you went with 2 of them versus 1 of them.
Or one or the other.
So am I leaving the Ninth Street sidewalks? You want them to price that going the rest of the way? Cause it's that sidewalk
Mine's
about
not.
this wide.
Where,
But I take the concrete slab off.
Is that just from the
Why-
stop sign?
wait, is that to widen the one from the corner
Put a whole
to,
new one.
Yeah,
to where the grant, the city's grant kicks in?
Yeah.
And we are to do the parking lot and then put the sidewalk in. Okay.
I just wanna clarify, I'm making notes here.
I mean, really, I think. Go, keep going down. the
I'll
list.
do it for that too.
Keep going.
And you want the middle school
I'll
concrete
do
slab?
half that.
Off.
Okay? I'll subcontract it out.
It's
You want what
10
off?
yards of concrete.
What do you want?
Why they're gonna be pouring tons
What'd
of
you- what
concrete.
was you asking?
I mean,
The concrete
I mean,
slab.
they're gonna be pouring a concrete driveway, they're gonna be pouring sidewalk, curb, they're gonna be pouring
And there's
10 more yards of
steel.
concrete,
So we-
nothing.
We wanna do it, but we feel like this price is ridiculous.
Well, we could
Yeah,
do it,
all them prices are.
but we could do it at capital out, we're doing it, but we could do it at capital outlay.
So if, I think we probably ought to.
We just don't need to do a bunch of drawings and shit for it, not, excuse my language. For that little slab of concrete, that's my opinion. It doesn't need to be involved in this scope.
Well, we really don't need it, belongs for a 6 foot wide
I
sidewalk
agree.
going down Ninth Street.
I agree,
It's one's already there.
I agree.
Yeah, then you have to worry about the slope and all that, right? Isn't it?
You're gonna tear the other one out, and put the new one right where the other one is, just gonna make it a little bit wider.
We just tack on the beer grant.
Yeah.
And something else to consider too with this pricing, for example, if you were to release HTK to design all 20 of these items or whatever items you decide. You guys have paid for that design, so in the event that the $2.2 million we're chasing on that threshold of what we can include with the bond project. If we can't grab all of it, you guys then have that design at another date, a year later, 2 years later, if you wanted to pursue some of that work at a later date.
I'd say just take number 1 off and put the side access on it, do all of them.
Well, I would, if I
I'm gonna
would
take the buses out of there.
take the buses out,
Take the,
I'd still think the concrete slab, I'd replace it with the ADA bathroom at Garfield.
we don't need any design or anything for commons area, chairs and tables.
Right, I think we can
Take that off of there.
So that gets it down to about 17 things.
And I can see the savings for the interior maintenance if we're buying cabinets for multiple schools. You guys should be able to get a better deal.
What was the
on that.
hot water in the science?
I'm sure.
Middle school.
Middle school,
Yeah, they weren't good.
They don't have.
Yeah, they don't get any
No problem.
water, they're not getting any hot water anywhere in that area. So I don't know if it's designed that way.
Jeff, you brought up a point there a while back. When
Why
were
can't we just
discussing
put
this.
some point of use hot water heater
Exactly.
under the cabinets and
That
have
was
hot
discussed.
water?
Is it
Plug
the
them into an
restrooms
outlet.
too? The girls' restroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And does that bathroom right there have hot water?
It didn't for a while.
Okay.
Is there a maintenance closet close there?
No, but there's that closet, but yes,
So I think I'm on my notes now. One thing we also forgot was relocating the power at Garfield.
right, Yep.
So that's top 10.
that needs to be.
I thought that was.
That
I thought that was
transformer.
part of it.
Just like it, like,
Put it on the pad.
there's overhead power.
It holds.
The good thing is once we get this list back, we can prioritize.
That's overhead power.
Simply through, you know what I'm saying, is on the pad. So that makes there what, 18 if you had that?
Somewhere in there.
Oh. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah,
At
I
18?
mean, if
Like
it's
a
20
window
or
in the
10,
windshield.
it just gives us the ability that once we go out for pricing to the market and then come to bid day, you guys have all the options on the table. Items 17 and 16 may be able to fit in there because item 14 was just too much. We're not hamstringing the decision now, or like I said, being married to it now, but that's what we need in order to facilitate some better pricing. If that's what you're looking for.
Right.
But again, it's, that's entirely up to HTK on that design cost and fee with you guys on what that looks like, and if it can't be achieved with the bond or capital outlay during the duration of our project, have every capability of doing it later.
Sounds good.
Craig, is there anything else that you see as the?
no, I think that. Things seem to be covered.
I know you asked about the high school bathrooms today, and I know we didn't talk about that. Do you want to elaborate on that at all?
Well, I'd like to put new stalls in, like the one we did for the girls, the rest of the area. And then granite floors and then the obviously.
Those 4 in the main learning area.
The boys across and the girls and the boys.
Yeah.
And offices.
Yep.
Three.
Doing drawings on that or?
So just capital outlay.
Yeah, I think we put that capital.
I do too.
We did one already. Correct.
I think the issue is we had Craig do it. He can't do the professional epoxy. We had issues.
You wanna do everything else other than the epoxy, Greg? Craig?
Doesn't got time, but it doesn't mean we can't put it out.
Yeah, we can get a bid and see, and then, like you say,
Don't need a design.
right. Just have to show them the one we've done and then.
Guys have any other questions? I made some notes. I'll send them to you.
Yeah, if you captured those items, I tried keeping up too, so. Yeah, thank you. This is the feedback that we needed for next steps.
And also, late next week, either Thursday or Friday, HCK's team, as well as myself and our other pre-con guy will be on site. Doing some site investigations based off this list, as well as some other field verifications for the bond scope. And then, I think our next board meeting, if we can come back with an update, at all possible, I'd be happy to do that for you guys as well.
Great.
Is the wall in Garfield in there?
Not on this list.
The
no.
glass,
Or is it part of
the
the
glass block.
original wall? We gotta do something toward that
Wall in the gym.
wall in the
Oh.
gym.
Yeah,
The
there,
west wall.
Garfield. What you mean?
What's wall work's falling off. on
Yeah,
the-
there's something,
Where
there's
the
windows or something.
windows are covered up with wood.
Wood
It's
and it's
probably leaking
leaking.
down inside there.
But that needs to be,
You want to add it to their list?
yeah, I didn't know if it was already on the interior maintenance of Garfield or not. But we
I
walked
don't-
around, everybody's seen it,
I
Yeah.
don't believe there's not anywhere.
cause we've got to get that taken care of.
And that does. need their-
That's a moisture problem.
It's probably because of the siding that's put over top of them windows.
I think that too.
Probably
when you
just
walk-
rotten and it's leaking down between the block and the interior part, and that's what's making the wall rot.
Yeah, I think where that gutter's installed, you can see just rain the night prior when we had that tour, and you can still see that fascia board, that 2x fascia board there, and it was soaked. So if that's covered on the face and wicking underneath, it has every opportunity to get behind that wall and.
And that's the old windows that they would have covered up, so.
I added it.
Just thought of that. That's a moisture issue.
That's got
The window, the glass in the wood shop. room.
Yeah, the high school glass inside.
We can-
Yeah.
We will make that a priority,
Yes.
so we don't go in third year of seeing the glass.
Anything else that you guys can think of to be taken off or added?
Do you have the power?
Yes.
Big now, I regret it forever.
Add it to the 10-year capital up. It'll get down eventually.
Okay.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank
you.
you for coming tonight. See you in July.
Yes, you.
Thank you.
Hang around another 30 minutes. You can buy me dinner.
Take you up on it. The truck that drove cores or whatever up there at the middle school, it was up there. It got there late this afternoon. So, yeah.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Like,
Okay, move on to the band instrument equipment bid. That one.
Got it.
But it came in a lot under budget.
I think you want this one.
$1,078.
and like I say with that, Brett, I know you already said something, just the replacement cycles.
Yep.
Getting buildings back on
Yep.
that for that type of stuff, so we can count for it.
Yep.
You guys might not know the answer to this, but will they have that for August? Really?
It is.
16 days. That's awesome.
Wow.
Good deal.
I move to give final approval to accept the bid from Ernie Williamson Music in the amount of $53,921.89.
Second.
All those in favor? And next is the draft for all the staff handbooks that are due.
Jeff, did you see my text?
I don't have my phone on me.
On our admin agenda, when we made that list of kind of some questions on dress code,
Yeah,
would you pull that up? Or tell me where it is and I will.
yeah, go to our, open up.
I looked for it earlier. Anyhow, while she's looking, I just wanted to follow up on our conversation last month. You guys see how our dress code, staff dress code language is written in our handbooks? And just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page headed into next year to make sure that what's written is what is expected from you guys in regards to that piece. And we had a page here that we all worked on where it was, what about this, what about that? And I can't find it. I mean, are there specific things that you guys want us to focus on? Like, are there? Particular issues as to why, I mean, that we need to hit on? I'd give you examples, but I can't do that.
Because sometimes you just can't tell which person's a teacher when they're out at an event. Well, you can tell who it is, but they're not very professionally dressed. Sweats and sweatshirt.
Yeah, I just want them into a good way that they're all, you know, we have the special days, I'm fine with that. On Fridays, but every day isn't a special day, you know, the T-shirts and I mean, it's how you communicate, how they interpret that. I'm fine with what's on paper.
So you're mainly talking T-shirts, sweatshirts, those kinds of things.
You know, blue jeans all the time.
I like the wording, the job appropriate attire is permitted for specific positions. That gives them the flexibility, so if you're a preschool teacher on the floor, there's. Or a PE
I'm okay with the
teacher.
writing.
Yeah.
Just.
And I think so some of the things are like, you know, so many of our teachers are coaches on game days. Do they need to wear slacks and shoes, or can they wear coaching attire? Is one of the items, or like.
What do those coaches expect out of their players on game day?
I think it just depends on the team.
I want to say, football at Wakefield on game day, they wear black slacks, a white shirt and a blue tie.
And I think it just widely varies on the team.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So then the coaches in sweats, that's not very.
I don't know.
You understand what I'm
Sweat
saying?
is ever- Unless you're in PE and stuff like that,
I think that's another one, PE teachers,
which, hey, that's.
ag teachers, art teachers, fax teachers,
Yep.
school nurses, you know, those kinds of things. So, you know, some other questions that have come up, like there's a lot of slacks now that are more golf panty, but they look nice, but a collar shirt, but then some tennis shoes look really nice. And some people wear tennis shoes because they're in their feet. I guess I want to make sure that I'm carrying out what you guys want me to, and our principals are, and I just don't want to come back in 6 months.
I mean, me personally, I have a problem open shoes. In the classrooms, no socks and open shoes, I mean, you know, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
And that's fine for men, but most women's, it's hard to find dress shoes that don't have openers. So then you're spending.
That's why we can
That's
go
why,
down
like,
there now.
You know,
So,
if it, I almost feel like if we get a complaint from a coworker, from a parent, from a student even, then that's when we need to address it. It's not us going into the building and be like, what are they wearing today? No, but we have this in writing so that if we get a complaint, maybe clothes that aren't fitting appropriately or showing more than they should, or that aren't appropriate for the situation. It's the lots that will be administrators to address it.
A big one was colored jeans. So colored jeans that look like slacks, but they're not blue jeans. And our principals were like, man, that's why I don't pay attention as much, but just little nuances like that that look nice, look professional.
I call them the bear tag jeans and I got holes on it. Well, I've never seen a teacher wear it. Those were so great.
Right? Any other thoughts? Okay, we'll do our best.
Move on to,
Oh, we need to move to approve. Okay.
that's just a draft.
No, this is the.
Says that
Oh.
staff handbook.
Sorry. Missed
They're a
that.
draft because you haven't.
So
Draft until we approve.
I move to approve the 2026-27 staff handbooks as presented.
Second. All those in favor? Okay, now we can do negotiations.
I think the biggest change is going to be the exchange for an additional personal day. We can look at, we may ask for some documentation on sick day if we have somebody that's abusing that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, just some basic language changes. We define retirement, did a couple of legal pieces, but other than that, there really wasn't any substantial changes to the agreement.
So we, that's what it is. I think we did this, so the total dollars for the increase in salaries and the increase in insurance was just short of 1%, right?
I think if you add I don't have it in front of me, Tracy, so I'm ballparking here, but I think it was the total with the amount, additional increase in health insurance and the 3%, I think it was like 3.73 or something like that.
I got 3.8, but still in that neighborhood. I just want to be clear, that's the raise.
Mhm.
It's not 2.1. It's
That's
not,
that's if they take the health insurance.
it's not 3, but we approved that big raise.
That's fair.
3.7.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know that, because it's not 2.1.
Yeah.
And also is that I think it's more than fair. Our teachers work hard, but that's gonna be hard to do in the future. Extremely hard, losing students, our cash flow problems. I think we cut 400,000 off of it last year with staff by not filling staff. And this is 280,000 going right back in, and we're gonna have our challenges. And so I just want to make sure that everybody knows that it wasn't 2.1, it's not 3, it's over. By the time paying for increase in insurance premiums is a raise. It's part of their benefits money, so I just want to make sure that.
That's $820.
Were they given an option of a step and a percentage?
They took just a percentage of all the way across.
But were they given that option, the step and?
We talked about it, but you guys, I don't know if they just
Because the direction from the board was
just
just
a 3%. Yes.
Yeah, we would prefer that. There was a big.
Well, I was just saying, a lot of the comments were that they didn't get a step. Well, I didn't know if they were given that option and their group decided to do the base and, you know.
We just said we prefer to run it through the whole base,
Yeah.
and there wasn't a lot.
You know, and there's some people saying, some of the stuff I read, the email I got, that they didn't get much of a raise because they didn't get a step. Well, they're getting the same amount as everybody else that's on the base. Just because it's on the base doesn't mean you didn't get a raise.
That's correct.
So, I mean, there's that misconception there that,
It's just, that's my point about the insurance, you know, some of them don't want to include that as part of the,
well, they don't, but
Right.
there's some that
but
are saying that they
But we
don't take
pay
the
for that.
insurance, so my raise is only this much compared to somebody that does take the insurance, their raise was more. And that's the price you pay, I guess, if you don't take the insurance.
Right.
But everybody gets 3%, and if you don't count
But the
insurance. you
total
kinda
dollar
get
amount
more.
Yeah.
was still 3.7, 3.8%.
So what was
And I
that?
think the state gave 1%
And the
raise
base,
this
yeah.
year.
What was the dollar? I mean, our base,
It's our basis.
what's our base?
It
Do
moved
you
their
remember
base
the
down.
dollar amount that was
It
added to the
says
base?
increase the base salary to 47,000.
Okay, so what was it from last year? What was the increase? What was the 3%?
That's $47,445.
Last year.
46,063 is our current.
4606, and I went to 47, but
Four.
so they got an $800 raise,
No, 46. Oh,
$1,000.
$1,000.
But we took the total money that we spend each year.
Oh, sure.
And that increased 3.7, 3.8%. And like I say, the state, they gave their workers 1% this year. I mean, it's just, it's tough. We're losing students and, I think we did a awfully
did everything we could.
generous for our situation of knowing what's coming down the pipe. So,
I don't know many employers who pay all of the individual's healthcare, insurance costs. Every job I've had, we have to pay a portion of it, whether it's a third or a half or whatever. So I'm grateful that we could still do that. I hope they understand we gave them every dollar that we could towards the salary.
I'll just.
and the
give a big-
negotiation team was great.
Mhm.
I mean, all went good and that. When I hear the 2.1, I just want to, that's not true. You know, our total dollars, we increased by 3.7, 3.8%, and I believe that's fair. And it's never gonna be enough. I got a degree in education. Teachers are important, but with our situation and declining enrollment, I do feel like we're doing everything we can to support the teachers in that way. So,
And a huge shout out to IMA. They earned their
yes.
money by getting us from a 11 down to a 4.7. And many of my friends are looking at 30+% increases. The old pool that we're in, probably gonna be about 30% increase, which would have been $500,000 for us.
So why are they still in?
Because it's so hard to get out. It's why it took us 4 years to get out of it. And so I think that was a really smart decision we made a couple of years ago of getting out of the pool and going with IMA. And I think next year we ought to really look at even strengthen our position a little bit more there and looking at some partially self-funded options, bring that premium down. So they're going to help us work towards that over the course of the next year to see if it's doable or not.
Very good.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, so what would be,
I moved to approve the 2026 negotiations agreement. I get that.
Second.
All those in favor?
you know, I think you should just, Brett, just so everybody knows, like our hourly or classified, it's about a 50 cent an hour rate.
Okay.
Second.
So, well, yeah, they're separate negotiations, or at least contracts are.
Yep.
Very good.
Any questions on classified?
And just so you know, we did this the last couple of years. It's important for our business office that the classified handbook pay scale get approved because all your 12-month custodians maintenance, that payroll starts July 1st. And if you guys don't give approval, then they have to go and back pay all of that. And so the rest of the classified handbook will come next month.
I moved to approve the 26, 27 classified pay scale.
Can you use the motion?
Oh, I didn't see
If you
that.
want to. Your group.
I got it. I moved to
Okay, go
give
ahead.
final approval for a 3% salary increase for salary not covered by the negotiated agreement and a 3% plus a step for the hourly classified staff.
Second.
All those in favor? In favor?
Yeah, well, I mean, she, this is,
Oh,
but-
sorry,
sorry.
we're
the
good.
plus is step. Yes, okay.
Did everybody say yes?
Yes.
Sleeping over there?
Well, I mean, it's like, like a. Like, are we?
I didn't commit.
Is there an opposed? Okay.
Move on to property and casualty insurance.
We did get a decrease in our premium. It wasn't, I mean, it's a big number, so any percent's good. I can't remember the exact number, 6 or 7% less than the year prior. We've had 3 really good years. And so, as we end this year, and go into next year, if we continue to have really good performance, we don't have any big claims, I would expect that we should see a significant decrease in property and casualty, and if we don't, I think we would want to consider going to the market again at some point. I've done a lot of benchmarking in similar size districts on what they're paying and PMP and the deductible, and we're far off, but we did have 3 or 4 bad years. I mean, we had some bad claims, and so we're paying for those, but once we get to year 4 or 5 of really good performance, I would expect that we might be able to go to the market and get a better rate if our current provider doesn't want to make it better. So IMA is dabbling. They have a property and casualty division on the commercial side, but they haven't dabbled much in it on the public side. And they have a division that's working on that right now. So that might be an option to look at down the road too, if they could help us go to the market to get better premiums, because we spending a lot of money on property and casualty.
I move to give approval to bind property and casualty insurance coverage with Kansas Insurance Cooperative for Schools and property deductible buy-down coverage with Lloyd's of London as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
And just to make sure you guys all, I think you know, but I just want to make sure we do buy another policy to buy our deductible down from 250,000 to 25,000. That's what the Lloyd's.
Move on to workers' compensation insurance.
Good news, you know, that we've been staying in that same neighborhood around that 1 mod mark, which is really good, which means that, some things we're doing, like McCoy and Craig and Kathy have been doing a really good job of bringing in people to train. Drivers and maintenance staff are big users of, can be big users of work comp, and to stay near that 1 mod is really, really good, and that's why our rates continue to be pretty favorable, or flat or just slightly up, and so continue doing those things.
I move to approve the RAS workers' compensation renewal through Iron Insurance Partners as presented.
Second. Favor? Bus purchase. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, and so we would remove 2 of our older buses from the fleet. They have to be, you have to drill a hole through the block. They can't be usable anymore, and the grant will pay for 75% of each one of those buses, so our cost is 25% of the total. KSD will not allow us to order until we get approval from them, and then we have to have the buses built, we can't buy one that's sitting on a lot. And so the approval language, if you guys approve, says that we can move forward with those purchases once KST says we can.
One question I didn't have was the ones of 2027, ones of 2025. Is there any way we get two 2027s so we don't lose those 2 years of operating?
I think those, when Mike had put those in there, those were ones that he was just working it.
Okay.
So we
Cause if they
haven't,
gotta be built, you'd think they'd have to be 27.
Right.
They gotta be built.
that is true.
It might be 28.
So as I recall, I think Andrea is correct. We had to find a starting point of a price. And so Mike found some that were sitting on a lot. And so
All right.
those numbers could fluctuate just a little bit based on what the build price is.
That makes sense.
Well, I move to approve proceeding with the purchase upon approval of KSD. I think you say bus in there, bus purchase.
Second. All those in favor? And now after school, where they're.
Already decided.
I think the only thing would be is if we're good with the fee piece.
I think we do it the same as we did a year ago.
The $30 with waivers.
And
And-
then look at, for the following years, look at a more.
So since I didn't have the fee on the fee schedule, I mean, we could add that right now. In talking with Andrea, just the way our software works, that parents who do pay utilize, what would happen is if you signed your kid up, we would do 30 times 10. So we would put 300 as your bill and you can get on every month and pay. If you drop the program, we have to be notified and then it doesn't vanish. It takes one of our ladies going in and taking it out, but the work to go in and assess that fee every month, it's not, you have to do it individually by the students, so
They drop
it's
6 months in, you just go in there and take the other 6 months off.
right. So if it's easier if we just do a flat fee at 300 with waivers for those who are approved. So if you want to do that tonight, just say that as a flat fee and then we would. And we
Would they
would,
put a motion on the table to amend the fee schedule to X?
Yeah.
And then,
or a motion could say to add the after school program fee to be this.
I move to add a after-school program fee to be $30 per.
Say 300 for the year.
For the year
Mhm. Because that would cover their early releases as well.
with waivers.
Waivers applicable.
Second. Favor? Votes? Five-minute break.
Yeah, run 2 items. Unless you have executive session, they're not gonna do anything, are you?
I don't need it for the student unless you do, but I would like just a few minutes for staff. If you do.
A student,
I would-
early graduation.
Yeah, I would like to make the statement, encourage future students applying for that to not use ChatGPT to write their letter to the principal. But I move to approve the early graduation request as long as the graduation requirements are met.
Second. Those in favor? And we're going to non-elected. The executive session, I'm seeing you're in to include Brett, Jackman, Dustin. For Zoom at 7:40. 7:35. 7:35.
Second,
Is in favor?
Don't care, no one's ever taking care of driving.
I'm just gonna go home. You go, no, it's miserable. I go this. Both, they both play the same time. different times. It's terrible. That's-
Says all of it, and all. That's sometimes they've just done it that way. It's done it another way.
Oh, well, we're not.
It is what it is. Travis Christian, the custodian for Clay Center High School, is he from Wakefield?
I believe so.
So we got, go on up. Whoever's doing this here, go up, definitely. So I see we have one bus driver, keep going. A sub bus driver and another bus driver. So
Are
have
we
we
in
done
trouble?
anything to replace that?
We knew those two were leaving. We would have planned on that.
Yeah, nervous, drivers were no longer needed.
Yeah, that they're providing.
I think we had done those two were gonna retire.
And I'd be,
So a short bus driver then?
I can find, Mike told me and I can't remember, but I can shoot it to you guys in a note. He had a plan, I just can't remember what it was.
So one of them was the food service person. That's all they did was food service. Where they drive a town route,
I think he had a route too.
that route too. Yeah, so two route drivers, so.
I move to approve the personnel report, including supplemental updates as presented.
Second, all those in favor?
All those opposed?
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Opposed. Move to adjourn the meeting,
Second.
opposed.